Is that my key sitting outside?
Yes, that's it. Take it. And thanks again for the bread and the medicine.
Thank you. Again? The Astronomia Magna of Paracelsus, AMP. What if Philibert's message referred to this work? Incredible, that Philibert. I can't manage. So, Jean Aime, what's the mystery here? A star chart. That's interesting. There's nothing more to be found in the writing desk, but perhaps Jean Aime has left some other interesting things around.
César, what are you doing here?
My job, Jean Aime, my job. My mission is to understand what's going on here. And it seems to me that you possess certain elements that could enlighten me.
That doesn't give you the right to search through my things.
Are you sure? Do you think we should ask the Queen's opinion about that? Her Majesty would surely be curious to know what you're hiding so carefully.
And to think I took you for a stand-up fellow, loyal and honest, like your father.
You really must take me for an ass. Do you think I'd fall for such hollow words?
Very well, César, calm down. There's no need to go to the Queen Mother. What you found is the original version of the prophecy written by your father. I gave her a version that was shorter, and above all, clearer. You know yourself how obscure Nostradamus' writings can be.
You pillage his labor and then you amputate it.
Simplified, I said. I just simplified it to make it more accessible. And in fact, my interpretation turns out to be right. Everything is occurring exactly as in my version of the prophecy.
To be sure. It's almost scary when you think about it.
What are you insinuating?
That I'll tell my sister to be on her guard.
Be very careful what you say, César. You won't always be able to hide in the shadow of the Queen Mother or of your blasted family.
So, the mask has fallen at last, Jean Aime. I think we have nothing left to say to each other for now.
Oh my God!
So here's the 9th victim of that ghastly prophecy. You have to accept the obvious, César. Nothing will check destiny.
Perhaps not, but I can defeat the one who is the instrument of that destiny. And in that respect, didn't you notice anything on your way back to your cell? You must have run into the murderer.
No.
That's really astonishing. You must have gotten here just a few seconds after his death.
First you search my things, then you accuse me of killing a man. I'm sorry your father isn't here. He'd make you eat those words.
Perhaps. Unless he shared my opinion. If he trusted you all that much, he wouldn't have sent me here. Whatever the case may be, we'll discuss it later. I've better things to do than quarrel.
The odor this letter gives off makes me think it comes from a woman. He most certainly was killed with a dagger. The one who did it must have had his trust. He could come close without the guard trying to defend himself.
I just found the other guard, who was stationed on the second floor. He's dead.
My lord, who would have dared? Did you see anything?
Unfortunately not. I arrived too late. But he was surely stabbed.
Stabbed? I can't believe it. He was an exceptional fighter, especially in hand-to-hand combat. I shall let Her Majesty know as soon as possible. In the meantime, do what you can. I can't leave my post, whatever happens.
Did you know him at all?
Very little. He wasn't very talkative.
Do you know if he has a girlfriend?
I think he was seeing Catherine de Medici's attendant, Constance.
Do you know where I can find the young lady?
Her room is behind you, on the right. She must be there now.
So this is where Catherine de Medici's guards rest. It must be because of the weapons here that entry is forbidden. Brandy! If the guard emptied this today, it's not surprising he allowed himself to be stabbed without reacting.
Constance?
Yes?
I'm César de Nostradamus. I'm conducting an inquiry concerning the deaths that have occurred recently.
Come in.
I have some bad news for you, mademoiselle. You were a good friend of the man who used to be the guard on the other side of this floor.
Jean? Why, yes. But why are you using the past tense? Oh, no! You mean that it was his turn? He's dead.
Unfortunately, I've been led to believe you were very close.
That depends on what you mean by close, young man. You want to know if we were lovers. Is that it?
I found a letter on him and, yes, that's it. Were you his mistress?
His mistress? If that were so, I obviously wouldn't be laughing like this with you, even if I find you very charming indeed. No, we were just lovers, but in fact, I hardly knew him. I'm sorry if I shock you, young César.
Not at all, mademoiselle. I'm merely surprised. It's the rose that made me misjudge your relationship.
A red rose speaks of passion, young man, which is very different from love. And men love to be flattered, do they not? Tell me, what is your favorite flower?
If you don't mind, we'll speak of petals later. A man has just died, and even if you weren't in love with him, you knew him sufficiently to be able to answer a few questions.
Charming. And domineering. You're a surprising young man, César.